Students from Riverside Middle School in Carson, Iowa are collaborating on an opera with students in Helsingborg, Sweden. The students have been organized into different committees to ensure that all of the tasks involved with writing and performing an opera are successfully completed. The teacher asks students from the Costume and Makeup Committee to explain what they have done so far and how the Cosmopolitan Makeover software has helped them make decisions.
They're doing 4 characters and you're doing 4 characters. Can you show me some of the drawings that you did?
This is Roy.
And is that one that you did or the Swedish kids did?
We did this.
Okay, and just tell me what he has on there, or will have on.
He has a green Nike shirt because they wanted Nike. He has Nike black shorts and Nike shoes and
okay, so it kind of looks like an everyday young person. All right, and then the next character is?
Josh. We put together our own. They did the pants and we did the shirt. We wanted a visor. It's going to be like upside down and backwards. And he's wearing Jinko baggy jeans and an oversized dark blue Nike shirt.
Okay, I think I remember them saying they wanted him to look like a hip-hopper, right? You're also working on makeup, and you're working with a program called Cosmopolitan Makeover. Can you tell me how this program works and some of the things you've done with it?
Well, you take a camera, a digital camera, and you take a picture of anyone, and you put it on the computer, and you pick a picture, and it shows up on the screen, and you can pick hairstyles and hair colors. And then there is highlights, and you can do our makeup and lipstick and stuff. And there's lipstick. You need to outline the lips. And then you can like put lipstick on her. And then there's blush. You know, it's going to look better than that, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. The Opera on the Net project was an outgrowth of the Creating Original Opera project that we started in this school 7 years ago. Mrs. Louise Merkel, who is now a retired social studies teacher, and myself took 3 summers of training from the New York Metropolitan Opera Guild, and we proceeded to do operas with our students. We've been doing it for 7 years with our entire 6th grade class. Everyone in the 6th grade class is on a committee, just like they would be if they were a real opera company. They're set designers, carpenters, composers, writers, electricians, public relations people, makeup artists, costume designers, and they treat these committees just like a real work assignment. After we had done this, we decided that it would be fun to try and make an international connection because the European teachers also have taken the same training. They've been trained by the Royal Opera House in London. So we tried to connect with some teachers in Europe and made a connection with 2 teachers in Helsingborg, Sweden. And we decided to go over and see their project, which we did, and they came over to see our project. And the next step we felt was to get our students together. We planned an Opera on the Net project to be produced in the McCready Theater in Macedonia in May of 2001, and we're in the process right now of working on that project. This project involves a lot of technology. We communicate with them through internet and through video conferencing. Each country has their own set designer, carpenter, composer, etc. And so it's been a great joint project.
Members of the Public Relations Committee have to create the program that will be handed out to the audience members at the opera performances. They begin by brainstorming possible content and layouts.
Do you want to agree on your information first and then talk about how you want it to look? Shall you approach it that way?
Yeah.
So far, what do you have on the cover?
On the cover we wanted our logo and where and when.
Who's doing Helsingborg?
And then the McCready Theater.
They want the name of the opera on the front page?
Above that should be above the logo.
Yeah, sure. Well,
One student is in charge of scanning the sheet music of new songs the students have composed. Then they can be sent to the students in Sweden as email attachments.
And then we do the new schedule things because we save it as
So students are writing at the house.
Because that's going to be the last. We'll have to put the picture later, so right now we're just going to put in returns and
No, we use the Microsoft thing because we have saved it here and we don't have to go to Microsoft.
You don't have to do that.
It's a lot easier. And so now I need to scan it.
So you're going to scan every page and then we'll send it all at once as an attachment?
Students from the Set Design Committee explain how they have used the software program Total 3D Home Deluxe to create a visual model of each set they needed to design for the opera.
And this is our basement scene right now. And there's you just put in whatever you want it to look like. If you click there, and if you want a bed in it, then you click there, and it'll give you choices of beds, and then you just drag it in there. And you can also do elevation, and that's where you look at it, what you would see when you walk through the door. And this is like, if you walk through it, you can see what it's going to look like.
So this will be very helpful to us as directors. We can actually see where your furniture is, and the Swedish teachers can see that too, even before they come, and know where things are going to be.
And you can put clocks, TVs, what homes usually have you can put in there.
So it sounds like a pretty detailed program. Now, what did you do with these floor plans once you had those?
We printed them out, and then
We enlarged them.
then we sent them over to Sweden. Then we went video conferencing, and we discussed how it was going to look, and if Sweden likes it too, and it would work for them.
Okay, so this was a pretty useful way of getting your sets back and forth for them to see what you wanted.
The teacher and students have to compose music to play to fill in the time when actors are talking. The teacher gives the students a specific key and notes to use in their composition.
This morning on the video conferencing, we worked through the first song that we wrote, and that's the one that we've been working with a little bit, the opening scene. And this is kind of a little jazz piece. Remember that piece that we were working on? And we decided that since there's quite a bit of dialogue there, and then there's a little bit of singing, that we would fill in with some little improvisational things. And that's what we had started to do last time. Let me just play the beginning of that just to review you on what that should sound like. This is a very opening part. And then the characters come in and they talk, and that walking bass keeps going all the way through on that part. Okay? So what we're going to work on, we're going to try and find at least 2 melodies that we can put in there underneath some of that speaking part. Gigi, you were doing yours in the key, looks like the key of G minor. Can you play that for us? Just a little bit of it so we can kind of hear. Good, and that will introduce the next set of characters. So our music is really helping to set up the characters. Now, how are you going to determine what's going to go above this walking bass? You've got your notes. What would be a good way to figure out what that's going to sound like?
We have something sort of jazzy.
All right, you want it jazzy, so the rhythm is important, isn't it? So you might want to just play your bass melody for a little while to get the feel of the beat, and then maybe clap a little beat, or ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, or think of some kind of a rhythm, and then maybe play with those notes a little bit until you find something that you really like. Okay? So that's what you're going to work on right now. So let's see what you can come up with. You can go ahead and put your headphones on and work on that a little bit, and let's see what we can do there. Gigi, you had something. Okay, can you clap it for us, or have you got something ready to play? Okay. Do you want to try that together? I'll play the bass part and see if you can fit it in.
All right, I'll try.
Okay. I'll give you a couple times to get the beat here. Try it again. Yeah, okay, that's a good start.
After deciding on a melody, the students then use MusicTime software to compose music on the computer so it can be sent via email to the students in Sweden.
All right, so you know how to run this program. Catherine, looks like you've got the mouse there, so go ahead and open up this program. And it's going to be a new one. And we're only going to write the single melody, right? So we just need one staff. You know what to do there.
8.
2, right? 2.
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
How many times is that?
Da, 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 bum, bum.
High accident.
And you have to sharp that again. Da, da, da. So that, how about the next rhythm? Ba, 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 da, 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 da. We know the next note's a D, right?
Yeah.
Da,
Is it
da,
an
da,
eighth note?
An eighth note, because it's a syncopated da, da, ba. And I think your next note, I'm going to give you a big hint. It was a B flat. And it will be a quarter note, because we're going to write this syncopated rhythm.
The students on the script writing committee discuss the process of writing the script and lyrics for the opera.
We start by thinking, what do we want our theme to be? So we all agree on a theme, and then as soon as we get that established, we go right to a thesis.
What was the winner?
Relationships.
Okay.
And then after you establish a theme, you go on to a thesis. Our thesis this year is, what's our thesis?
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Right, and was that the one we originally started out with?
No.
Why did we change it?
Because after we got into the whole writing process, we figured out that our thesis didn't exactly go along with our story. So we decided to change it after we asked Sweden about it, and they agreed that our thesis now went along much better than the one before.
All right, after we have the characters, then we have the character wheel. Talk about that a little bit. What's that mean?
Well, we basically decide who gets along with who and who doesn't get along with who. Leslie?
It's just about, like, Ellen and Roy
Give us some
liked
examples in
each
this
other,
story.
and Morgan and Valerie liked each other because they were both kind of, well, snobs. And George liked Kim because she was nice and he was a little bit of a klutz. And Roy and Josh didn't get along because they both liked Ellen, and so different people liked different people.
How do you write? You mainly did the lyrics to the songs.
Yeah. Well, you start out.
You helped too.
Well, basically, when you go to write lyrics, you think about you write down every topic that you have to hit in the song, and then But what I do is I write the alphabet on my paper, and then I'll write like a phrase, and then I'll have to go up there and I'll think of something I have to make rhyme with that, but it still has to make sense. It's time consuming, but it's rewarding when you're done with it.
So most of our songs rhyme. They have a rhyme.
And like you have to work together because we had to compromise a lot with Sweden and the other classes.
Yeah, we had a few frustrating moments after some of our conferences, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We found out we'd both written the same scene. And
Like for our title, they didn't exactly agree with us, and we didn't exactly agree with them.
but these are probably probably skills you're going to use when you get in the workplace, do you think? Are you going to have to work with people and compromise?